Whether you are an individual contributor or manager, you understand the importance of effective leadership, but it can be hard to pinpoint the leadership qualities that make someone so inspiring. Think back to the best boss you ever had. What was that person like? My God, wow. Do you feel that? They probably possessed leadership qualities like active listening, confidence, and the ability to motivate others. As a result, you likely accomplished your best work and loved your job while under their leadership. At, it, at its core, leadership transcends the simple act of managing a team. It is an art and science that requires a deep understanding of interpersonal dynamics, strategic foresights, and personal integrity. Effective leadership is about empowering team members to excel and uniting them towards common goals. True leaders inspire trust and admiration through their actions and words, and they foster environments where creativity and efficiency flourish. Let's define leadership and examine some of the essential important characteristics of a leadership. We will also I'll be also sharing some of tips for developing leadership and leadership qualities and leadership skills, and show you how to exercise these skills in your workplace and implement things. Let me define effective leadership. Effective leadership involves various essential characteristics such as emotional intelligence, decision making proficiency, strategic vision, communication skills, and the ability to inspire and motivate. Each of these dimensions plays a crucial role in the leader's ability to guide their team effectively. Leadership is not just about leading others. Most of the people they think leading a team is just a leadership quality. It is also about personal growth and the development of an authentic and impactful leadership style. So I'm going to talk about the core qualities of good leader. Anyone can call themselves as a leader. I have seen many people they telling me Raghavendra, I am a leader. But to make an impact on your organization or on your team, you need to learn a few essential leadership qualities. If you can start leaving out these characteristics, you will see your career grow and your team thrive. Let me break down some of the essential qualities of a good leader in the workplace. Now, let me talk about drive. Great leaders aren't passive, they are highly motivated and they truly believe in the vision of organization. This passion is contagious. Employees with driven leader are motivated to work harder themselves. Now let me talk about resilience. Being the one in charge, it's easy. In back in my time, when I was working for corporate companies, I've done a lot of analysis when I was doing a Six Sigma. So 37% of managers report that they felt a lot of stress on their most recent workday. But when you are leader, you can't let the non-stop challenges dishearten you. Adaptability and resilience are key. Please understand this. It's okay to feel frustrated sometimes, but good leaders work on their mental fitness continuously and push forward, dispute the hardship. In fact, they often take pleasure in overcoming obstacles through creative problem solving. In previous sessions, I have spoke about problem solving skills. You should not miss that out. Integrity and honesty, that is very important. It's essential for Leaders to act with authenticity, honesty, integrity, and reliability. These qualities are essential for building trust within a team. Leaders who demonstrate ethical behavior and transparency in their decision cultivate and culture of trust that permits through all level of an organization. Employees need to know that a leader will behave ethically, that they won't say no, or that they won't say one thing and do another thing, or that if they make a mistake they will take responsibility rather than blaming the team. Integrity means treating employees fairly and upholding the company's values. This not only inspires trust in other team members but also encourages them to act with integrity. The supreme quality for leadership is unquestionably integrity. Without it, no real success is possible. Whether it is a section gang or football field, or maybe army, or in your office place with your team working on projects, doesn't matter. Let us talk about the desire to learn. If you are promoted into a leadership position, you probably already know a lot, and you deserve that. You have developed your skills and gained experience in your field, and that is why you got promoted into a leadership position. But there is always more to learn. Great leaders have a growth mindset. I've always been saying about this many times. If you're in a fixed mindset, you need to transform yourself to a growth mindset. That is very, very important for a true leader. They are on constant quest for knowledge and personal development. You agree with it, right? Now let us talk about self-awareness. Self-awareness goes hard sometime, and it's a hand in hand with the desire to learn. In this case, it's the desire to learn about yourself and about you. It's very important. You should think what you could do better. One of the most important leadership qualities is humility. Good leaders understand their strengths and work to improve their weaknesses. Everybody has weakness, right? So you should recognize what are your weakness, and you need to make sure you improve their weaknesses constantly. Self awareness can also help a leader develop a leadership style that fits their personality. A good way for leaders to develop self awareness is to solicit feedback from employees or peers. Are you open for the feedback? Question yourself. When someone is giving you feedback, are you accepting those feedback and appreciating them for giving the feedback? Sometimes I've seen when someone is giving feedback, they interrupt them because they're blocking themselves not to take any feedback from that person. You think that you don't deserve to take feedback from that person. Let a small kid, or maybe anybody, any industry, in any circumstances, anybody can give you feedback, and you have to be open for the feedback. Don't be insulted by criticism. This is simply information to help you become a better leader. Please understand this. Always be open for the feedback from anybody. Let me talk about confidence. Leaders have to make a big decisions, and these decisions often come with big risks. It can be scary being a leader, because when you are the one taking the risk, who takes the risk? Is your team member taking risk? As being a leader, you are the one who needs to take all the risk. Maybe in any project, any kind of work what you do with your team members. You will also probably shoulder the blame if things go wrong, right? But that's just a part of the gig. To be leader, you need to have the confidence to act decisively and in high stakes situations. The situation can turn up to anything. Sometimes it is going to be very worst. Rather than showing anxiety in your behavior, you must be calm, collected, and resolute. Moreover, there are always people who disagree with the leader's decisions. Sometimes this is happening in many places. While it's important to listen to the others' viewpoints also, a leader can back the leader can, like, sometime uh, uh, in the sub like, in criticism or conflicts, they need to face all these things, right? Sometimes they need to face all the criticism, some conflicts on the projects. This is common thing which will definitely happen. They need to behave the self confidence to brush the people who doubt them and trust their institution. When they know they are making the right choice, even though, they have to feel, their team members should feel that, I can definitely trust your institution, and this is what you're coming up with, and definitely this is going to be successful for sure. And this feel should come to them, and that happens only when you have a good confidence. Now let us talk about positivity. As a leader, you don't have to be chipper all the time, but you do have to pass a sense of optimism on your employees. Employees like working for positive people. Out of managers rated by their employees as a grade, 79% have positive attitude. They have, right? Otherwise, that's why they are in the team. That's why they are getting that position after going through all the workshops, trainings, and nesting process and all this stuff. So this positivity should, make your employees to feel, yes, I could do it. And there will be definitely there will be some skill issues, but you should bring them in such a mode where they should feel, yes, I'm getting a good support, I'm getting a good training, so I have a good leader, so definitely I can learn this. This positive vibe should be created in your workplace. Now let me talk about realism. Well, employees appreciate a positive attitude. Unrealistic expectations are not so well received. A great leader expects their team members to succeed and then makes it possible. If employees realize that they are never able to achieve what the boss or a leader asks for, they will stop trying. This is for sure. A good leader keeps objectives optimistic but reasonable, so that the team can experience a sense of accomplishment if they put in the work. This is common. Sometimes there will be a will issue and the skill issue in the workplace. You need to identify who has a will issue. If they have a will issue, you need to talk to them. What is that? They are going to go on a comfort zone. You're paid for something, for the work what you're supposed to do. You need to make them understand that you have been paid and you know all the knowledge and you are expert on things, and you need to make sure, like, you need to motivate them to get into work, right? And the will issue is something, like, which is not at all good in the workplace. So you can give feedback, you can give some verbal warnings, And if the will issue is so strong on them, then you need to take some strong action on them. Now the skill issue is the skill issue is something like, the person is willing to work, but he has a skill issue where he doesn't know what it needs to be done. So, as being a leader, you need to recognize the person has a skill issue and putting him in a training, or maybe like, you make them associated with a few team members who is performing and get that all skill, because they don't have a will issue. They have a skill issue, but they want to learn, and you provide them a platform where they will associate with the performers and learn all the skill. So this is the very common thing, like, which needs to be done as being a leader. Creativity and innovation. According to a study from lot of social media platforms and networking platforms, creativity is the number one soft skill in short supply in the workplace. Active leaders solve problems in unique way, innovative ways. They are willing to experiment and think outside the box. But creativity isn't just about having an occasional brainstorming session. True innovation requires a sustained effort to foster an environment where new ideas are welcomed and valued. As a leader, it's crucial to encourage your team to think outside the conventional boundaries and challenge. This is very important, like, people should understand what are the challenges are and break it down with the teamwork. Leaders can try setting up systems that reward creative thinking and actively participate in creative processes. They can also regularly, like, schedule time for team members to pursue passion projects. They have some passion on working on some projects, so give them, let them work on it. There are some hackathons, and ensure everyone feels safe proposing, unconventional solutions without any fear, or maybe any ridicule or rejection. Remember, the most innovative leaders are those who see potential where others see obstacles. You agree with me, right? Now let us talk about communication skill. See, the communication skills is such an important thing, because many times, like, when the leader doesn't have a good communication skill, things might go mess up. Great leadership is all about communication. If you don't have good communication skills, none of the other leaders quality, like, none of the other leadership qualities or characteristics on this list mean anything. You won't be able to get through to the people you are supposed to lead. You need to have a very good communication skill to convey your message to your team member what needs to be done when at the time of challenges, at the time of conflicts. So you need to communicate, right? You need to communicate and guide them. Should not be any place for miscommunication. Now sometime I've seen, like, when a leader doesn't communicate well, the team members will be confused, and you don't know what to convey them and what needs to be done. So they're misunderstanding thing, and things will go very bad. That will have a detrimental effects on your team and your organization. So that is why the communication skill is very important. Clarity is especially important when you're talking. According to the productive index, people management study, everybody says, like, communicating with your team members, it's a very important skill that you need to learn. This is Very important. Sometimes this can be immensely frustrating, disheartening for the whole team, because the leader is not communicating good and I'm getting confused. And that can be felt among your team members. They're talking, what is that he's saying? I did not understand, and they're questioning themselves. And if they ask any question, again you talk and you communicate, but it is still not again proper communication, and they're still again getting confused. Your team can't be confused by a leader with their communication. And that is why the communication skill is very important. That means effective communication, including non-verbal communication, is one of the most important leadership qualities you can develop. Mastering non-verbal communication like posture, gestures, and eye contact can reinforce messages, build trust, and influence team dynamics. This is very essential skill. Like, communication skill is very important. I need to develop that. You need to get into some activities, team building activities, talking to people, talking to your leaders, talking to your mentors. This will definitely help your communication skill better. Now, communication skill is not the only important thing. That is very important, but that is not only one thing. Like, you can just communicate, but you also need to have a listening skills. Let me talk about the listening skills now. Communicating well isn't just about talking. Active listening is essential for building trust and build a rapport with your team members. It's very important that you need to sometime, like, you need to make sure you have that communication skill without any interruption. You listen to the entire thing what the other person wants to tell you. Good listening skills help a leader understand what employees need and where their pain points are. They're coming with some pain points, they're coming with some issues, conflicts, and they're communicating with you. Listen completely what they want to say, which shows the employees that their boss really cares. The best leaders balance opposing characteristics and know how to engage completely with what another person is saying, while remaining open minded about hearing new thoughts that creates a lot of good ideas. This is very important. Like, sometimes the people are very excited. People who are like, excited about love they got all of a sudden. And what happens for that person is, like, they start talking continuously. Like, they want to tell everything what they feel. They want to communicate. They are so loud that they are talking to our loved ones, and they keep talking, talking, talking. This happens sometimes. Like, the other person, opposite person, should understand that person is excited and he loves me so much, and that is why he's communicating so much with me. So in this place, you need to understand the active listening skills is very important, and let them talk everything what they have. Today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, they're still talking for a month. Let them talk. Someday they're gonna ask you question, and those questions will not stop. And it's your chance now to communicate. And when they're communicating, you need to be a good listener. So that is why I tell you, like, listening skills are very essential and very important. As the communication skill is important, listening skill is having the same weightage. It's very important. Now let me talk about empathy. An empathetic leader is compassionate and knows how to connect with others. They care about needs and hopes for their team members instead of jumping to harsh conclusions. If the employee's performance dips, they seek to understand the root cause. This kind of emotional intelligence builds trust and helps the leader have better insights into their team. Emotional intelligence is the ability to use emotion to increase your own and other success. Now, let me talk about decision making. Part of being a leader is making decisions. You all know that, right? And a lot of them, they always make decisions only by themselves, like, they don't take anybody's help. Because of this, the leader needs to know how to make decisions both effectively and efficiently. Well, leaders will have to make small decisions every day because he's in that position where he need to take some decisions every now and then when the project is stuck somewhere. They will also have to make big decisions that affect their team and even their organization as a whole. Sometimes it happens. They have to take a decision for the entire process sometime. Being aware of uh, cognitive basis can improve decision making. Developing self awareness help leaders anticipate potential failures and make more informed choices. So it's very important before you make decision. So you should have that confidence, and before you have that confidence, you should make sure you should have all that skill. And once you have all that skill, you should make sure this skill is there with all the team members, and you know all the team members very well. What is their power, what is their potential, what is their knowledge, how much they are capable of handling things. So this gives you confidence to make decisions. Now let me talk about strategic mindset. Employees who get promoted into management where excellent is past roles, like, they were very excellent in the past roles, and they get promoted into a management, where there are higher positions, higher roles and responsibilities. Getting every step right and showing great intentions to details. But leaders have to see a big picture. When they are into a new role, when they are into a new position, definitely that is something new experience for them. And as being a leader, you need to make sure you make the strategic mindset, bring in their integrity. Like, you're gonna bring that, that kind of mindset on them, the strategic mindset, because the way they've been working before, now after getting into the leadership, call it a leadership position, or maybe, getting promoted to the new levels. So they need to get improvised on all the skill set, or maybe, the strategic mindset, how it works. You need to make sure you develop that skills under them. Now let me talk about an eye for talent. Good leaders create new leaders. You agree, right? Part of a leadership is choosing the right people for the job and then helping those people develop their own skills. A great leader can recognize the faster, recognize how to fasten the leadership traits even in the most junior members of the team member. In the team members, anybody who is very junior, so you need to make sure, you fasten those leadership qualities in them, helping them, recognizing their talent, bringing them friend. The most junior person might have a great talent, which you can make sure, you bring them up and let others also get motivated. So you need to make sure, you need to know how to motivate everybody and encourage them for the talent what they have. You need to be having you need to have that kind of skill to recognize who has what talent. And once you know what is their talent and what are they master in, so give those work and those projects which they're going to love, because they are master in it. The right person should get the right job. The person who doesn't know about those things, let them be let the performer be a mentor for them, he's going to teach them. So this way your team is going to have a skill, and it's going to be a strong team, and it's going to be an autopilot. Now let me talk about the ability to motivate. True leaders inspire and motivate their followers. You agree, right? In the work setting, a great way to do this is to show appreciation for your team members and recognize their achievements. 79% of the people that quit their job saying it's because of a lack of appreciation. I worked for a lot of organization, for a lot of corporate companies. I've seen when the employee is disappointed only because there is no good environment for the project what they worked, and it was a successful project, and the client is praising about the project, but the appreciation is not given to them. They're not recognized for the hard work what they're doing, for the good job what they're doing. So when your employees are achieving, make sure you encourage them. Conduct R&R, rewards and recognition. Support them, motivate them by highlighting them on the entire project, on the entire team, with opposite teams and everybody, let them recognized, let them be recognized. So this is very important to motivate others. Keep your team always motivated. Now let me talk about the ability to delegate. The true leader is the only person who can have this kind of quality. He knows the ability to delegate others. Though leaders care deeply that every aspect of their teams work is done well, it's important to trust your employees to handle their own pieces of puzzles. In return, they will trust you to take the lead on vision and strategy. Delegating responsibilities can also help employ, and also it's going to help everybody feel like they are contributing to the team. That feel should be there. Now delegating is something which is very important. As a leader, you can't go everywhere in all the bays and sitting on workstation and working. And everywhere they're stuck, you go and work and complete and then come back to the other workstation, sit there and again work, and another department facing some problem and you go there and you work again. No. When they are stuck, make sure you solve the problem, and also you implement that skill to them. You teach them how to do it. The next time when they have that problem, they'll not ask for help again. Delegating is a responsibility. And when you're delegating, make sure you also teach them when they're stuck on some project. If you don't know how to teach them when they're stuck, make sure you get someone else to train them up. You get someone who's a performer to train them up. So this way you need to delegate things to the team members and support them. You should know when to delegate and what to delegate and whom to delegate things. Now let me talk about professional expertise. Leaders should be highly skilled and knowledgeable in their field. That doesn't always mean technical competence. For example, the CEO of a software company might not know how to write codings, but they should definitely have a deep knowledge of the industry and the product. In the same way, you should be aware of things what's going on the project. You no need to have all the skill to sort out everything, but you should know the importance on the project, what is important, what are the task list, what are the things needs to be done, and this is very important. It's that kind of expertise that lets the great leader craft, an intelligent and achievable vision. This is very professionalism, this is very important. So you need to know the entire project flow, the entire project, you should be that much of capable, the first things are important, first things is first. Your employees can't work on the seventh point directly. You should know which has to be done first, which has to be done second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then seventh. Your team member can't directly work on seventh point, which is not going to give good result. So point by point, step by step, you should know the process, and you have to make sure you need to have this professional expertise in you, that you know the flow, what has to be done first. Now let me talk about embracing the leading change. In today's rapidly evolving market, adaptability is more than a leadership quality. It's a survival skill. Please understand. Effective leaders must not only manage change but also drive it. To lead your team through this kind of tidus of change, start by clearly, communicating the reasons behind the changes and how they align with the broader organizational goals. Be transparent about the challenges and maintain open channels of communication to address any concerns your team might have. Additionally, empower your team by involving involving them in finding solutions and decision making processes. In your absence, there should be someone in your team, who can take some decision making processes where someone is stuck on the project, which can help easy transitions and foster the sense of ownership among team members. This is very important. You need to make sure some of your team members have that ownership. They should be confident enough, yes, this is what I want to do, and if I do this, my leader will definitely appreciate, and this step what I'm going to take a decision making into the team, so this is going to really help the project, and that confidence should be there, that leadership and that ownership is important. Now let me talk about visionary leadership. A visionary leadership, the visionary leader doesn't just get goals, but inspiring their team to envision and achieve a shared future, to cultivate and communicate a compelling vision. Start by understanding the core values and strengths of your team, and then connect this to a larger purpose. Make sure your vision is clear and consistently communicated, using stories and examples that resonate emotionally. Leaders should also demonstrate how each team members work, contributing to this vision, providing motivation and clarity. Remember, the powerful vision acts as a north star, guiding the aligning all efforts towards achieving strategic goals. Sometime, before you start the project, or maybe before you work on the problem solving skills, you need to have that vision ability, visioning, what all the challenges might arise, where my employees can get stuck. So what are the skill issues which we have? So what are the challenges? What are the resources we need? So when you're visualizing like yourself on the project flow, you might come up with some questions, or you might come up with some obstacles. Before you start the project, you are visualizing things. So when you visualize and you find some questions or some hurdles, some kind of challenges, so you can work on that first and then process further. So this visionary leadership quality is very important. Before you, without visualizing things, and you just start the project and you got into some conflict, some issues, and you don't know what to do, and you have to do it again from the scratch. So that is something time consuming. So when you visualize things and you find some challenges, you can work on that first and sort out things. Now let me talk about technology and industry knowledge. In the world driven by rapid technological advancements, staying always updated, like your team members needs to be always updated with the industry trends. It's just not a beneficial, it's also impactive. It's going to be very useful for your leadership effectivenessly, where you are considering, you are always knowing what is the new technology for the present growth which can be developed, and where you can get the productivity. Leaders should make concerted effort to keep updated with the latest technologies and industry shifts. Your team is busy working, let them work, but you should make sure, you put your continuous effort on knowing the latest technologies in the industry shifts. This could mean subscribing to relevant trade publications, or maybe you're attending industry conferences meeting, leadership team meetings, or understanding courses in different fields, what is things happening, what are the competitors are doing. You should be knowing what is happening. By integrating this knowledge by into a strategic planning and daily decision making, you not only enhance your credibility but also position your team to capitalize on new opportunities and innovate, on the curve. So this is very very important, these are the qualities which is required for the leadership, and these are the characteristics of a true leader.